All right, good morning, guys. How's everybody doing? Let me make sure there's no echo. All right. All right, so yeah, a lot of stocks on my list this morning. The cannabis stocks have really been moving some. CGC up, NBEV, ACB all up. MBOT had a crazy day yesterday. Look at this thing go from, really a few days ago, this thing was at $2, $2 and something, and now it really just pushed up, got all the way up to $10. And so, you know, a huge gain here, a huge gain, just about 500% in the last day or so. And so, kind of a big move here. Going to be watching MBOT. Second day trading the AMD opening range breakout. Yesterday was a pretty good day for it. We'll see what we get today. Hopefully, it works well today. And it continues to work. So, going to be watching AMD as well. Like I said, NBEV gapping up some still from 701 to 734. We'll see what this one gives us as well. Decent gap. Cannabis stocks have really been moving. Certain ones are looking better than others. Like you can see, CGC and ACB, along with NBEV, have all looked really good. But like Cron looks bad. It's technically it's about break even. APHA looks a little bit weaker, but still neither of them are really down. And so also watching SAEX after the big move it had the last few days, up from $1.80s. It's at 440s. I think it might come back down, so I'm going to keep an eye on SAEX. And so yeah, that's about it. Kind of watching SSYS here. SFET, if you like the low floaters, SFET looks good, gapping up from 296 to 344. But yeah, we'll see what we get today. Let's see where PCG is at. PCG ended down yesterday and is gapping down some more today from 838 to 715, where it's at now. And the overall market is overall market's about break even. Just about break even. Technically it's gapping up about 20 cents or so, but about break even, not a huge gap. And even the SPY had a washout long move yesterday. Interesting. Yeah, I figured I'd open it up a little early too. That's what I figured. I feel like I'd be open it up a little bit early today. Can you all hear me? You should be able to hear me, right? Purpose Trader. Test. Can everybody hear me? Pretty sure you can. I tested it once already. Testing. Yeah, you can hear me, Pun. Two-way, you can hear me. John, can hear me. All right, yeah. Somebody tell Purpose Trader. Maybe needs to unmute. What's up, Patafin? Welcome. Appreciate it. All right, so yeah, SPY's about break even. Well, look at AMD go right now. AMD really starting to move here. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. But yeah, look at AMD really starting to run. Starting to take off really in pre-market. Wow. It's up to 2071. popping up on my scanners here. You can see the volume start to really come in as well. Look at the volume start to spike. So yeah, AMD starting to run. I wonder how that's going to affect the opening range breakout on this one. We'll see. We'll see if it just picks a direction. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, they said rumors circulating about AMD. Let's look it up the news. I'm not seeing anything new out that. What's the rumor? What's the rumor, Will? Let's detach this and look it up this route. Oh, a takeover happening. Yeah, because I'm not really seeing anything out here, so we'll see what happens. Very interesting here. We can look up MBOT while we're at it. Might as well check out what MBOT is doing while we're here. All right, so MBOT signed a $3 million registered direct stock offering at $6.50 each. And so yeah, shares are down. They rebounded some, but they're down on that news. This offering, I think, is really going to hurt any of these gains, at least up to $6.50. Yeah, the price represents a 34% discount from the stock's January 14th closing price of $9.79. And I mean, it's already back up to $9.75. But with that offering price, I'm guessing it'll go down. The offering is expected to close January 16th. All right, we also have ACB. The news I have for ACB here is that they made a quote-unquote blessed buy of organic cannabis producer. Whistler agrees to sell for $132 million in stock. Aurora executives call it the crown jewel of organic cannabis. And yeah, so ACB said it intends. It said Monday it intends to acquire one of the last independent members of the so-called Blessed Eight, a group of cannabis companies given the first approval to move cannabis genetics from the black market into the legal regime. And ACB said it would pay up to $175 million in stock for Whistler Medical Marijuana Corporation, a privately held British Columbian-based producer of cannabis. They said, quote unquote, I would call Whistler the crown jewel of organic cannabis production worldwide. So they are purchasing Whistler Medical Marijuana Corporation. Interesting. Let's see if CGC has anything here as well after that news. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. You mean AMD, right? Lucas, you're talking about AMD, right? On why AMD is up. Kind of retraced any gains it made here. Alright, CGC put out a press release that said they gained a license to build hemp facility in New York State. So CGC, let's see what that entails. So yeah, CGC Canopy Growth, they received a license to build hemp facilities in New York State. It said that it will invest between 100 and 150 million to build the hemp industrial park, which will focus on hemp extraction and product manufacturing within the U.S. Interesting. CGC at 43.20, gapping up about $1.20 right now, or no, about 80 cents right now. And then we have NBEV. See what TLRY is doing as well. Man, look at TLRY get hit. I don't know what's going on with this one. All right, so TLRY signed a long-term revenue sharing deal with Authentic Brands Group. So yeah, it stated today that it signed a long-term revenue agreement with Authentic Brands Group to market and distribute its consumer cannabis products in allowed jurisdictions. Interesting. I mean, I guess that's making this drop unless there's another news story that I'm not seeing. What's up, Eric? What's up, Joe? Good morning, man. KTOV. KTOV sounds like a news station, right? But yeah, look at KTOV Pharma. Go. It's a bio stock. But look at this one start to run. KTOV is getting some volume here. It's up to 144. And so a pretty decent move here for KTOV. That might be worth a watch. But yeah, PCG continued to get hit here. Gapping down more in pre-market this morning. Down to 708 right now. Low at 661 in pre-market. But yeah, PCG is really getting hit here, which is to be expected. PDD bouncing back some a little bit. FCX gapping up some. UXIN moving a little bit as well. Big red day for UXIN, but moving some at this point. TRXC. Yeah, I'm watching. Look at KTOV go. Yeah, TRXC is gapping up some. Let's see. Want to see a little bit more volume with this gap, but it is gapping some. Still, though, I mean, it needs some more volume, and it's a relatively, it's not a small gap relative to the price, but it's just low volume. I doubt I can trade any of these anyway, though. Let me see. No. I can trade ACB, CGC, and BV, Cron. So I can trade all the cannabis stocks, which is good. SAEX is still tradable. Good. APHA is tradable. SSYS. SSYS is not. SFET is not. But yeah, KCLV really starting to spike here. AMD did start to spike off of that rumor, I guess, but it pulled back some already. Yeah, for sure. AYTU. Yeah, it's gapping up some as well. Looks interesting. I'll be right back, guys. All right, I'm back. But yeah, definitely curious to see what AMD is going to be ultimately doing today. What's up, Houston? Good morning, man. Who get this? What's up, brother? Good morning, dude. Let me grab this. I need to get one of those mats for my chair here. But yeah, AYTU gapping up some. Interesting. But yeah, biggest watches are going to be AMD, MBOT, CGC, and probably the rest of the cannabis plays. Let's see if they added MBOT. I haven't checked that yet. What? Why did it disconnect me? What? Come on, don't disconnect me. I just got kicked off of Tefs. Is anybody else having problems with Tefs? Uh-oh. Yeah, buddy. All right. What is going on with this? Here, I'll be right back, guys. All right, I'm back. But yeah, man, I can't connect to Tefs. Does anybody know the website? Oh no, man! I was really excited to trade with Tefs today. All right, so Tefs just notified they are having issues with the platform, so be careful. I mean, luckily we still have about 30 minutes, and so I think they hopefully will get it fixed by then. Oh, it's trying. Let's see if it lets me in. All right, it just let me in. I'm in. All right, let me make sure. Yeah, I'm in. All right, cool. Got a little worried for a minute. Alright, but AMD pulling all the way back. Look at this drop in AMD here. It's down at 2039. I think I was a little bit more short biased anyway. It just had a big green day yesterday. Big green day Friday. Break even day prior. So it had a bunch of green days in a row. So I think I was more short biased. Especially like if you look at the daily chart here. You know. I was more short biased with it. But we'll see what we get here on AMD today. Starting to drop some now after that news came out. Or that rumor news about the possible takeover. Yeah, I'd added my profits, Luke. Yeah, I'd added it. I mean, no, it did mean I have the day off. I actually like trading. But yeah, if I couldn't log into Tefs, I would probably paper trade it, which I don't really want to do. But yeah, ACB is another one I'm looking at. Gapping up nicely, CGC. Gapping up. NBEV looks good. At 750, gapping up about 50 cents. Gonna watch SAEX as well. Still up a lot. What's up, Sultan? Right, exactly, man. Lucas said, what's your take on using a line chart for pattern recognition and drawing support and resistance lines? I've never done it. I mean, I've almost solely used candlestick charts. It's just what I know. It's what I'm comfortable with. I doubt I'll switch. And so I can't really say whether it's good or bad. I've just never done it, you know. Yeah, for sure. None of us want the day off, man. That's why we're here. Absolutely. I was gonna get bummed out. Really, I wouldn't get the day off anyway. I would just paper trade, which would be less fun. TJ or Cejudo? TJ all the way, man. TJ's about to take that belt, man. I think it'll be a good fight though, and I like Cejudo, but I think TJ's gonna take that belt, man. That's a good card though. I'm excited for it. I actually thought it was this past weekend, and I got really excited for it, and then I checked, and it wasn't until next weekend, and so I got bummed out. Yeah, it let me in. Constant. It let me in. Round, uh, 3. TJ's just got that really. He has really good movement, man. He moves and flows really well. All right. I wouldn't say I'm done. So Luke asks, "Are you done with the VWAP fade? I've noticed you've only been doing opening range lately." It's not that I'm done. What was that noise? That wasn't me disconnecting again, was it? No. Okay. There we go. I'm not done with the fade. It just hasn't been is it hasn't been occurring as much in the market. You know, a lot of times I was looking at AMD. It just hasn't been working and occurring as much in the market. At least the type I like to do. And so until then, I think it kind of makes sense to back test long strategies and strategies that I'm going to be able to implement um, every day. And so with the VWAP fade just not happening as much, I just need to wait for a downswing in the market. Like once the market starts to take a turn, then the fade might be more in play. But until then, I think it makes sense to back test like I did and find another strategy to implement while I'm waiting. Yeah, I'm in on Tefs. Oh no, it did disconnect me. That was that noise. Uh oh. Oh, it disconnected me again. Well, I got 23 minutes. Yeah, I was looking at TRXC. It needs some more volume though. That's the only thing with it. It's gapping up nicely, but it needs some volume. Kind of choppy in pre-market. Also looking at Cron, it's kind of trading against what most of the other penny stocks are doing.
Yo, yo,
Yo, what's up, man?
what's up? What's up?
All right, guys, we got Mitch here.
What's going on, guys? How we doing? Another day trading. Let's do this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Mitch. Luke asked, "Am I done with the VWAP fade?" And he said, "I've noticed you've only been doing the opening range lately." And like my response to him, it was kind of, it's not that I'm done with it. It's just it hasn't been showing up. It hasn't been working as well. It hasn't been showing up as much. And so until the market kind of turns around, like I said, I just kind of have to find something else. And that's kind of the way the market is. If you get too stubborn or strict with one strategy, then it could kind of hurt yourself. And so I think that you have to understand where the market is at overall, and then use the best strategy with that in mind. Like I think Mitch has been trying other strategies as well, and so it's not that him and I are done with the fade. It's just that we haven't been seeing it as much.
Yeah, it's kind of like this. I mean, at every point in time, you're going to get kind of patterns to be stronger and weaker at times. And the real key is understanding what your strategy really is. When you're a beginning trader, you can only have, I say, one strategy. But as you grow, you got to kind of define different strategies. One of the real keys, I think, to trading is learning how to trade both sides. I think it's not right to have just plain out short bias or just have a long bias, always longing. If you really learn how to trade, you'll have the ability to do both. And I think that's really something that in the long run can really help you out. Um, One of the keys that I've been seeing lately is that you definitely shouldn't be fighting trend in the overall market. Um, we had that big kind of couple down days. Then we got kind of 3 weeks of kind of a rise here. And unless it really tumbles, you shouldn't really be fighting the stocks as they've been kind of reclaiming their levels.
Hey, does anybody know the website where I can log on to Tefs? Because like I could still use Tefs on my phone. Uh, I'm not gonna use it if this doesn't work. But like for instance, if I get this up and then it disconnects mid trade, I can use my phone to enter or exit. Does anybody remember that website? What's up? What's up, Strix? How you doing, brother?
Yeah, you're not the only one having issues. I'm having issues also. So I don't know what's going on, but
Eric, if you're there, bro, weren't you the one that knew the website? Because I can post that.
everyone having issues.
Let me see if I can find this site. I remember the site. There it is. I found it. There we go. All right. Well, I got into it. Um,
Yeah, I don't even have my app. I don't. I didn't know how to connect it. I tried multiple times. But just wouldn't connect for me.
Click on the settings link in the top menu. Yeah, I'm trying to get it connected here. Website settings. There it is. Settings. Mobile. All right, there we go. That's how you do it. Create a 4-digit PIN. Let's see if this works. All right. All right. Well, I got into my phone. Tef's on my phone. So that's kind of my fallback unless there we go, and I'm back into Tef's. Okay, so I got it back up. But yeah, I hooked it up to my phone, so I have the app now working. Yeah, you can download the phone app. So to download it, you just download the Tef's app. It's TEFS, and then you hook it up to the Tef's website. It's tefs.orbisfn.com. But I'm still going to try to trade with the platform. But if it disconnects me weird in mid trade or something, I can exit with the phone app. Just kind of a backup. What's up, John O? Good morning, Felix. Danny Jack said keep an eye on MJ stocks for the rest of the week. Benzinga has a big investor conference underway. Good chance institutional investors will be jumping in. Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of the cannabis stocks are really up today. Like I said, ACB, NBEV, which is a cannabis-infused drink company, CGC. TLRY is getting hit. No, I didn't. MBOT had news that come out for an offering price that's $6.50, and so that made it drop some. But it's actually rebounded since then. It's at $9.50 or so.
Yeah, I can see that one kind of doing that move up again and then coming back down.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, somebody else mentioning this. VHC is pushing up now. VHC. Yeah, I did have a deal. I'm not sure what kind of deal it was, but I did see that it had a deal, John O. There's a lot of low flow gap ups today. Plan is to wait for the open and let the best play with volume show itself and then make a plan. Yeah, it sounds like a relatively decent thought process.
Yep.
I usually am upset about no float gappers, but it usually just is hard when there's like 5 of them. Which one will run? Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of low floaters today. Like, let's just look at them. I know we have KTOV, which is probably the best one, I think. KTOV, a lot of volume going in there. Gapping up from 104 to 172. And I kind of miss trading these penny plays. We got ABIL gapping up really nicely, too, from 187 to 240. Like I said, VHC starting to run here, getting some volume up to 475 from 387. So VHC is currently kind of starting its ascent up. AYTU gapping up some. SFET gapping some. APRN. Although I don't think that one's a low floater.
One that I'm watching is AMRN. I just like that one, like the daily chart. It was hit with bad news before it kind of did this move back up. Huge gap down in between 12 all the way down to $4. I don't think this stock has any business being up there at $20, and kind of made a huge move on the 10th. Has had a couple of like consolidation days. The real key is going to be the support here at 1682. If we can get below that and hold that, we should be able to really crack down here.
Look at Netflix, bro.
Netflix is having earnings coming out.
Okay.
That's what that is. Everyone tries to get in Netflix because of earnings, and then earnings are like just flip a quarter, you know.
Right.
What do you expect to see tomorrow? Netflix at 360s, or do you expect it back down to 300s? Just flip a coin, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Netflix being such a big stock, I think it's going to influence the market some, whichever way it heads.
Yeah, definitely. It's not only Netflix is one of the major ones today. Another major one to watch today with earnings is Goldman Sachs, GS.
And yeah, I am seeing a thing for Netflix that says they are raising prices for 58 million U.S. subscribers as their costs rise. You said, what's GS, Goldman Sachs?
Yes, Goldman Sachs. Reason why I always pay attention to Goldman Sachs usually comes, they're in investment banking, and so they usually do really well in times of volatility. So they'll make a lot of money trading, and their stock will go up. When they're not doing well, and they start getting hit, a lot of times you're going to see the financials overall just start going down. Another one that's coming out is Bank of America.
BOA.
Yep.
I know it's not BOA.
No, it's Bank of
BA.
America. B
No,
B A.
no, that's Boeing.
No,
What
it's
is Bank of? I thought it was BOA, man. I could have sworn. Let's look it up. Bank of. It is BAC.
see. There you go. That's what it is. Yep. So we'll be watching that one. That one's having earnings come out. It's interesting, earnings plays. The only thing I've ever learned that you can kind of do is look at analysts and see how much they change the estimate. And then if your estimate keeps getting increased, you can look for an increase. If you're seeing the estimate keep getting hit, and more times analysts change their estimate, usually means weakness. That's the only kind of strategy I ever found in earnings. And to tell you the truth, I still call it the 50-50 play. Flip
Right.
flop.
For sure. Appreciate the sub, B Slugs. Thanks,
I've
brother.
heard
I
certain
could.
people make money on earnings plays, but I haven't heard anyone just be like, "That's just what I do."
Yeah. Oh, Mike. I think Mitch's volume dropped. That's what I was trying to say. I think you're down a little bit, Mitch. I can't hear you as well. I think mine should probably be the same, but I think Mitch's volume dropped.
Maybe I just moved my mic a little bit. All right, guys, getting near to the open. Got to start watching levels. One of the important things is going to be what's going to go on with the SPY. We saw the SPY do a weird move this morning, kind of move on up there in aftermarket from the 257s all the way up there to 259. One of the major things that I've been seeing in the overall SPY for the last, I think, 3 weeks is more volume coming into the close than the open. Something really different about that. That has to do with bigger investors. Retail traders usually aren't buying at the end of the day or selling at the end of the day. It's more investors and kind of smart money. So it's just something to keep in mind and watch. What are they doing at those times where they're bringing in that much volume into the market near the close? And you see almost every time near the close that you're getting like big action. It's not small action after hours.
Yeah, for sure.
You can see it on the last couple of days, just huge amounts of volume coming in around like 3:45. It's something that's weird for me, and I've been in the market for 3 years now, and it's definitely not something that I see common.
I mean, I think most of the time volume spikes. I think a lot of times people are jumping in or out at the close, and that's causing it to kind of spike up a little bit.
Yeah, but you usually get that same action at the open.
Right.
It's usually a little bit more.
Well, one of my old swing trading plays was to wait for like a lot of volume and like a big spike right before the close. Like I would look for like a lot of volume and a big spike on some of these low floaters, and then try to take advantage of like the big gap up.
All right, guys, 9:23 almost getting to the open here. I haven't
All
had my
right, let's do
test come
this.
out on me. Hasn't timed out since about 9 9 9:06 around there. Has
Yeah.
yours gone and out yet?
Mine went out twice, but now it's on and it's staying on. I think, and like I said, I kind of connected my Tef's smartphone app, so if it does get weird while I'm in a trade, I'll just have to log on to that and just exit.
All right, guys, I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
But yeah, main watches for today: AMD, MBOT. ACB, CGC, NBEV. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, if I could, I would watch some of these low floaters like KTOV. Nice volume there. TLRY, cannabis stock kind of going against the trend, dropping some. And Netflix obviously looks interesting with earnings coming out on Thursday. All right, let's do it. This is day 2 of using the opening range breakout with real money. Let's hope it works well. I'm ready. What's up, outsiders? Good morning, man. Netron. Doubled my sim account yesterday with MBOT. Nice work, bro. Good job, man. Yeah, MBOT went crazy. You know, it's one of those things where it's like I usually like to buy put options on stocks like this. I usually try to wait until the end of the day and try to get it at the end of the day before I do it, though. Just because you never really know with these low floaters, man. If these things start to really go, they start to go, and you don't really know where the ceiling is on some of these, and so I think you have to wait for at least the first day to close. Definitely think it's probably going to come back down some, but let me check some of these out. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see how this goes with the opening range breakout today. I mean, it's time to continue to use larger sizing. Yesterday went well, and the way it's been working good enough to where, you know, even if I have a losing trade or two, the accuracy rate, at least lately for this strategy, should kind of redeem it and make it all right. Anywhere between 400 and 1,000 shares is what I'm doing. Like yesterday, I used 400. It just depends on the range of that first candle, you know. If that first 5-minute candle is like a really large range, I'll use smaller size. If it is a small range, I'll use larger size and just try to take advantage of it that way. It's kind of the plan. And so we'll see. Anywhere between 400 and 1,000. The reason I say 1,000 is because, like, if the range of that first, you know, if that first 5-minute candle is only like 10 cents or so, then I'll use 1,000 shares. I don't mind using 1,000 for that. But like I said, if it's a really big range, I have to scale down some. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I always said, like, I back tested this strategy. I've done the work, and so I don't mind using bigger sizing with it and just letting the good accuracy play out. I think MBOT will be mostly red today, but it will be interesting to see what will happen when it hits that $4 mark. Will it bounce? If it does, that's a good sign to buy in a short-term swing trade. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think MBOT is probably going to come back down some today as well. What's up, Anik? What's up, brother?
All right, back here. 2 minutes for the bell here.
Yes,
About
sir.
2 minutes for the bell. That AMD life again?
Yep, that opening range breakout, that orb life.
Hey.
Yeah, good luck, guys. Let's do this. Let me put the intraday scanners up, get those ready. But yeah, that orb life again today, bro. This is the type of strategy, though, where it's like I can't be upset if it doesn't work out. It's so black and white with this strategy. Like, it's so cut and dry. Either it works or it doesn't. You know, there's not really any... It's very easy to follow these plans, right? The only plan that's harder to follow is, like, where to exit after I've taken profits. You know, that's the only one. But aside from that, it's pretty cut and dry. So I kind of just have to stick with it and see what we get with it today. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not going to work always, but the accuracy rate is good enough to where the times it does work should definitely compensate for the times it does not. I would just back test it with other sectors, Anik. So like he said, you're using the opening range breakout only on AMD. What would be requirements for filtering other stocks? So, you know, I back tested AMD. And so to filter and to back test other stocks, you would just look at those sectors. and backtest stocks in that sector to do the same thing to get an accuracy rate for them. Like for instance, yesterday I backtested on Cron on CRON and with the washout long, the red to green move on CRON, and within the last month it had like 100% accuracy with CRON. It only happened 7 times in the last month, but all of them were successful. All right, there's the bell. All right, let's do this. ACB, KTOV popping up on my breaking out on volume scanner. CRON squeezing up here. SAEX pushing up. Look at SFET really spiking up as well. SFET, AMD. AMD really squeezing up here. ACB dropping some. Let's see what the SPY is doing. SPY's pushing up. SPY pulling back some now. Yeah, MBOT. Let's see what that one's doing. What offering, huh? I'm guessing it's going up from what Two-Way said. Yeah, look at MBOT.
I'm looking at MBEV. NBEV looking for a VWAP projection. Needs to come up to 740s though. It flushed really hard there. Guys, 40 cents, 30-cent drop there.
Kind of getting some so-so action with the SPY here. With the SPY, we're getting a little bit choppy for this first 2 minutes here in the open. All right, so let's judge this first candle. It's from 37 up to 67. And so 30-cent candle now. ACB, nice little run here.
Because MBEV back.
Yep. I don't know. I'd be careful. Yeah, some of these other cannabis stocks are ripping here, like ACB's up. What else? APHA spiking.
Didn't even give me a chance. Went up to 39, but so quickly that I couldn't hit it. I wanted 40s. All right, trying to get short AMRN at 1680. AMRN.
SPY breaking the high of the day here. Kind of squeezed back already though. It never really held. We'll see what we get here. AMD still in that opening range. SPY squeezing up. ACB pulling back. Some of the cannabis stocks pulling back now. MBOT going crazy up to $12. Well, I was wrong about that one, man. Who knew? I think it's getting pumped some, but that offering. Yeah, crazy move. ACB pulling back some. All right, so
Watching RN.
this opening range candle is about to form. It looks like it's going to be roughly a little bit right around 30 cents or so for this first candle. So 400 shares is what we'll do.
NIO looking good on the long side. Kron could get a VWAP fade in that one.
So I'll probably use 400 shares with this one as well, just because it's not a tiny candle at all. It's over 30 cents, and so use small share size. Target of about 21, I think, is reasonable if it breaks. SPY pulling up. SPY really squeeze it up here. All these low floaters are popping up on my scans. SPY is really squeezing up. I'm honestly surprised that AMD isn't stronger. I mean, it's moving up, but not very much. But the SPY is just running here. It's up to 259. It's just about. So a big move on the SPY. PCG is getting hit again.
Big resistance up there, 259s.
Wow, look at PCG. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, PCG's done. That company's going.
It's over with. Yeah, kind of agree. NIO. Yeah, NIO squeezing up too. Interesting here. AMD's staying in a pretty tight range at this point. Just kind of patiently waiting. AMD's still in this range. Pretty decent sized range as well. Definitely didn't break it like it did before. Wait, what? Okay, I gotta refresh this. Am I logged out? No. There we go. AMD dropping here, even though the SPY is pushing up. There's the SPY breaking the high of the day again. Yeah, I don't know if I want to buy short AMD if the SPY continues to push and break these highs here.
NIO still looking good. Alongside.
AMD very, very choppy. Still in that one range from the first 5-minute candle.
There's a turnover there on MBEV.
Yeah, seeing that one.
That one look
SAEX is down some too. MBOT up to 13s. Went all the way up to 14 too. So SPY looking really strong today. AMD's kind of trading against it, really. That didn't disconnect me, did it? I don't think so. All right, good. Hey, appreciate the sub, Joe. Thanks, brother.
trying to get in here at 78 on AMRN.
Good morning, Robert. What's up, man? All right, I'm going to let AMD test this area, but it looks like I'm probably about to get in this one. All right, I'm in with 400 shares. Kind of a risky move, though. I think that with the SPY kind of down, or with the SPY up as much as it is, AMD breaking under these lows may be significant, but we got to be careful with it here. Especially if the SPY continues to push up.
Let's go one more bounce.
Big squeeze back up on the SPY. That's what I was a little worried about. SPY pushing back up. I really don't want to get caught in AMD if the SPY really starts to head back up here and break these highs. So like I said, I'll stay in this one unless the SPY starts to break these highs. SPY breaks these highs and AMD continues to move up. I'm out of it for a tight small loss. Let's see. Back down to 30s.
ACB getting up to the VWAP there, looking interesting there at 7. Risk would be 705. Yeah, missed that fade right there. Just
Which
paying
one?
attention to AMRN. It's kind of a VWAP reject. ACB. ACB looking interesting there. No bounce back for AMRN. I needed a bounce back to get in that one. I like that one. I was trying to get in at 78, but it blew through my limit order.
Yeah, I was kind of watching that one too.
MU tanking hard there.
All right, there's AMD back down to 34s.
I'd love to see a move back up here, 75s, 78s.
I'd love to see AMD break under these lows, but the SPY is continuing to head up here, and AMD is just kind of going against the SPY today. But still got to be careful here. It's starting to squeeze.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's up there at 259.20s. It's definitely bullish for the day.
Yeah, that's why I just got to be careful with this one.
Man, look at AMRN. Ah, that one was the one to watch today. Should have taken my shot in the 78s. Would already have more than about 40, 50 cents there.
AMD squeezing back up here.
That was a good one.
AMD has kind of faded off the VWAP twice here, especially with the pullback in the SPY. We'll see if that helps me or hurts me. I just got to keep telling myself it's not going to work every time. I just need to work on focusing on getting the right profit when it does work.
Man, that AMRN. Come back to me, baby.
Yeah, AMD too. All right, back down to the 30s for AMD. Let's see if it ever actually breaks. SPY pulling back some. So that should help the momentum. But with it going against the SPY, $41s. Squeezing back up on AMD. See if it gets rejected at the VWAP again. Big if though. SPY starting to squeeze back up here.
AMRN. I need to move to 60s off of 70s.
SPY's kind of sitting up here. Down to 44s. SPY looking strong. AMD is just such in a tight range at this point.
Missed my entry there, but MBEV. Keep trying to hit limit orders and getting blocked. I need to go back to my market orders.
Yeah, market orders work the best for me at least.
Yeah, it's just I like to get close pricing, so I use the limits. But look at MBEV now. Look at that. Just missed out on that move. Not a good one to miss.
I know. Yeah, I'm short in AMD with the opening range breakout, which is part of the reason why I think I should let it test those areas first. I just think it's ultimately dependent on what the SPY does at this point, and with the SPY up, like I said, it's a little risky. But if the SPY continues to move up, I'm gonna get out here. Just trying to stick to the plan as closely as I can with it. Kind of one of those days where it's just choppy. SPY breaking the highs. Definitely going to get out here if it starts to push any significant way. Definitely looking to come in stronger though here. SPY coming back some, that might help me here. Just super choppy day. Very wicky day on the SPY and on the overall, not on the SPY, on AMD, but a lot of wicks today. There we go. It's a little bit better. See if it holds under this $0.50 now, or if it continues to move. The SPY dropping some down to 259.
Right, short there, AMRN. Short AMRN at 58s there, guys.
SPY pulling back some here, which should be good for me. Back up to the $0.50. SPY bouncing back some here, finding some support at 259. This is where the SPY is at with support. But SPY's looking strong today. But no matter what happens, I'm sticking to the plan. I know the accuracy rate is good enough that days like today are going to happen, and that if I, as long as I stick to the plan and I stick to the
right, just covered 300 shares there, guys. 300 shares there at 43.
Which one were you in?
AMRN.
Nice work, bro. Yeah, that looks like a pretty one, man. All right, AMD squeezing back up here. it's definitely nerve wracking for me using bigger sizing whenever it kind of stays in this choppy move. But I got to stick to the plan.
Big short there going through on my side.
Yeah, it looks good for you, man. I'm looking at it, Tank. Yeah, Mitch is in AMRN here on this fade. Looks good. Beautiful, beautiful follow through. What share size did you take?
500 shares. Couldn't cover any there in the 30s. Wanted to cover some in the 30s, but it kept bouncing on me there. It gave me a chance to cover some.
Yeah, from what I see, AMD's now actually following the spot pretty close. Any significant drop, AMD drops. Any significant bounce, AMD bounces. And so, watching the spot pretty closely with this type of move now. Looking a little bit better with this drop, though. We'll just see what the market does. If the market rebounds, AMD could rebound quick as well. But looking better for sure. Definitely forming that range still.
Yeah, I should have been able to cover some there, guys. I missed out on a big potential gain there. Should have been able to cover at least 100. It would have paid me up all the way up to $70 already instead of 45.
What did you get?
I'm at 45 right now, but I should have been able to. If I would have taken that profit, I would have been able to take a chance here and add.
All right, the SPY's trying to break under 259. And so that should help me if that does happen. But it looks to be wanting some support here. $259 trying to break on the SPY again. There we go. There's the break.
Push to the 40s.
All right, there's the break under the 258, 259 level on the SPY. We should get a drop on AMD a little bit better now, but it just depends on whether it holds. Looks better.
All right, guys, don't want to see this past 57s. This is when we could get the reversal here, so we got to be very patient. Know you're out.
AMD squeezing back up to the 50s.
Yeah, just be careful. I got a huge squeeze there. I got out. I took my money. I'm willing to take this down again in the 50s, but don't want to see this get back above there. Really disappointed in that trade. Had $105 there unrealized. Easy could have taken at least probably about 80 of it off and could have $80 in the realized already. Definitely not executing on the profit taken there. It's a little bit annoying there.
All right, still an AMD. It's been kind of consolidating in this area now. The SPY's bouncing back, which is worse for me. But AMD is still kind of holding under this $0.50. We'll give it a little bit of time, but it may rebound here with the SPY bouncing back up. most likely going to, is what I'm guessing here. The SPY picks up a lot of strength. I just got to get out. SPY bouncing back. All right. I got out. The reason I got out is because the SPY squeezed up and broke the high of the day. So $88 loss. Not too bad. Really within the range of losses if I'm going 1-to-1 on these type of trades. And so I don't hate the exit. I think it was probably the right time to exit with the SPY really breaking this high of the day here. And so that's just kind of how it goes. I'm still kind of looking at it. If it does reverse before it would have stopped me out, maybe that's something I'll have to kind of consider with these type of moves. But
looking for a bounce above VWAP here for AMRN to get back in it. Needs to hold that 670. Then we could slap onto it, probably in the 63 range, 65.
Look at the SPY, man. Look at the SPY squeeze up. It's almost at 260.
One of the best things to do in this point is trying to find stocks that are on the breakout point. NIO, good example. You know, the SPY pushing that hard, making NIO look really bullish here at 7. Good risk range there at 690. Could get a breakout there. And this stock has a nice daily resistance at 793. All right, looking this push on AMRN. See what's going to happen here. We're going to get above these 1670s.
Yeah, here's the squeeze on AMD. I'm definitely glad I got out of this one. It's up to 2058, 2059.
NIO breaking through those 7s up there to 702 now.
But man, the SPY is just starting to go crazy here. Really strong.
I mean, 260. Remember that price point I talked about, guys? We're going to hit it right now. Let's see what happens. This is going to be really big price point right here. I'm going to pull up the SPY so I can see the time in sales. I don't want to see it react up there.
MBOT. Whoa, look at MBOT, man. This thing's all the way at 1784. Crazy move. Yeah, for sure.
Warrior Trading's trading it for sure.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be doing this big of a pump, though. I mean, that it's not gonna pump it up, you know.
I mean,
1,000% in 2 days.
I'm not gonna say anything, but I've seen it happen before. Let's put it that way. They're not the only ones watching it, though. You gotta understand. It's multiple pumps, and I know that Tim Grutini is trading it right now. Ross is trading it right now. So those are people taking huge sizing.
Nice two-way. Good work, bro. Good job, man. Wait, what? Why is my WordPad freezing up?
There's APHA coming up for the VWAP fade. Actually, he's done it today. Also, Cron did a VWAP fade. MBEV did a VWAP fade. So, hey, who knows? Maybe they'll come back at a certain time.
We'll see. I mean, I still think they're viable. Of course, it's just they haven't been showing themselves in the market as much. Also, if anybody's interested in using the broker that Mitch and I use, TradeNet is having their New Year's sale going on right now, so you can get 20% off the intro package, and it's a pretty cheap deal. You get $700 to lose for the intro package, and so it's a pretty cheap deal. I think it's going on for about another week. But if anybody's interested in using the broker that Mitch and I use, you can go check them out. and just posted the link. I make a commission from it, and so it's one of the ways we keep the stream free. And so if you're interested in using TradeNet and want to help support the channel, you can go through my link, and I definitely appreciate it if you do. But yeah, definitely glad I got out of AMD. I think it was the right time.
One that looks interesting is SAEX.
I also think maybe waiting for that first candle to form on these type of moves is the best type way to approach it. Or that wait for a candle to form outside the range is probably one of the better ways to approach it, I think, on days like today when you just get faked out. Which days like this do happen on it from back testing. But overall, I think I did it okay.
Yeah, a little upset. I should have a lot more realized. Trying to make back some of those trades. Should have taken the 3-1. Had the 3-1 there. Should have taken it off the table. Got a little greedy there. Let the stock come back and was only able to take that first profit. That's what happens when you be a little greedy sometimes, and you just got to learn from it. Understand that your price targets are price targets for a reason, and you got to take your profit at those points. My next point should have been at 28s, 30s, and the stock went all the way down to 22, and I wasn't able to capture some of that profit. I feel like AMRN here is, at that point where it's get squeezed through the short pattern there. We've seen the SPY really hold. I want to see if it's going to be able to hold and get back above. Another one that I'm watching is SAEX. SAEX has a push here to about 45. I want to see if it's going to hold below 50 because I think this one has a real tendency of tanking after it goes up, and people aren't really watching it as much because of MBOT.
Yeah, man, everybody's watching MBOT right now.
I like that action there. That turnaround action, but you got to hold really tight to that 70 on AMRN.
Kind of looking at a fade for NBEV, but I'll probably just hang it up for the day. But NBEV didn't look terrible for a fade. Definitely happy with my exit here. It kind of shows you that the way I like to approach it makes sense. Where it's like if the SPY starts to get a big massive push and like breaks these highs of the day, it's kind of my cue to get out of the trade. And I think that kind of confirmed it here with this big push up here on AMD. Who knows though? It's still in its range from that opening first candle, and so it still could easily come back down. But I think it was the right move to make. Yeah, MBOT just wasn't tradable for us, but man, look at that crazy move. Beautiful little VWAP bounce there on MBOT at the open. All right, so this is my first loss using real money with this strategy, and I think I'm taking it pretty well. Like I said, I think that I just have to condition myself to get used to taking these trades and using bigger sizing. Bigger sizing is something I've wanted to do for a while now, and so I think my account can handle it, and I'm just going to continue to take the trade and implement it the way I should. It has a good accuracy rate, and so I should be okay, assuming that it continues to work, but we'll see.
Lee, what are you doing back there?
Nice job, Mike. Good job, brother.
Ooh, squeeze on SAEX. SAEX squeeze, guys.
We've had some good volume the last 2 days, though. Yeah, SAEX is squeezing up. But yeah, the volume's been pretty nice the last few days, really. VHC popping up on the scanners.
I have my order on the bid there for 100 shares of SAEX.
Long.
Yeah, on the bid, 450.
SPY really curling down now. Whoa. SPY retraced. Look at
Yeah,
this.
huge move there. That's what I've been
Wow.
waiting for. All right.
There's that
I'm watching
rejection at
AMRN.
260.
I want a little bounce there in AMRN.
Huge retracement on the SPY. Massive retracement.
That 260. What did I tell you
Yeah,
about it?
man. For sure.
People
Kind of looking at
people wanted to call me crazy probably this morning.
I'm kind of looking at NBEV now for the fade, but I don't
All
know if
right, I
it's going to
need
get
one more
back up there
bounce in
for it.
AMRN. One more bounce I can get in this. SAEX, that was a crazy little squeeze there. I almost got filled. It was filling up the bid. I wish I had got filled. I would have just sold it up there on the ask.
SPY bouncing back. Big downwick on the SPY. Went right down to 259 for a VWAP bounce and then
And
completely
now the
retraced that
bounce.
bounce.
Let's see what happens with the bounce. If it's just going to be a full-on flush down. 66.
Yeah, it looks like this is one of those days where AMD is just super choppy. It's just been, and really it's almost all the day it's been inside that first 5 minutes range.
You can look at APHA, Cron for VBOT fades, also MBEV.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at as MBEV.
I like APHA better, to tell you the truth. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah, I see that one. The volume's just worse on that one.
Just like that whole dollar being as your risk. You know how those whole dollars hold.
Right.
I'm looking for a push here on AMRN to 65s and then a quick fadeaway. Can't short here in the 50s because I have to hold all the way up to the 70, and the move down is only 20 cents. So we look for a bounce to get near the resistance, price action to deny it to keep going up, and then hammer down on it. That 450 would have been nice for SAEX. Would have sold it immediately, probably. Just never gotten a chance. AMRN getting hit a little bit there in the 50s. Like
if AMD breaks this low and keeps going down, I have to kind of think about my strategy and understand that like I have to give myself that 1-to-1 risk because I got out a little bit early relative to the risk I gave myself. You know, the risk was 30 cents. I got out at about 20 cents or so. Excuse me. And so I think if it does break and this does work, then I definitely need to reevaluate the way I'm approaching my risk in these type of trades, which I think is good to see. Relatively small loss overall relative to what the share size I'm using, and so I'm not super upset with it. But if this does end up breaking and kind of following through on the downside, then I think I need to be much more strict with that risk and just stick to it unless it breaks that risk. And if that means going down to 300 shares when it's a larger candle like this, I think that's okay. But I think I need to just be pretty strict with that risk on the 1-to-1 target because, like I said, I got out a little bit early. The SPY did break the high of the day, but with this massive pullback on the SPY, I think AMD may start to come back down. Yeah, they mimic each other pretty closely. The SPY and AMD. Today, actually, they didn't follow each other as well as they usually do. Like, for instance, like the SPY pushed up a lot today at first for the first 30 minutes or so, and AMD kind of stayed in that choppy range, and it's still in that range really.
I need a small bounce in AMRN. I'm trying to chase it here.
It's just about whether the SPY bounces off of the VWAP right here at 259, which I think is very plausible. But yeah, anybody interested in using TradeNet, I posted the link just now. If you want to sign up and use the broker that Mitch and I use on a daily basis, you can go check them out. A lot of shorts. cheap commissions if you use smaller sizing. Biggest flaw is a lot of penny stocks aren't tradable, so like MBOT isn't tradable today. But if you're interested in using the broker that Mitch and I use, we typically find stocks to trade every day. You can go check out TradeNet. Just posted the link.
Yeah, I might have to do a starter here and then add to it.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in myself. I got out before the risk, and now AMD's dropping down. I guess I could take it when it breaks that range again, but I'll probably just stick with the strategy. If I do take it, I might take it with like a smaller share size. But it's got to break that range, which the SPY is definitely doing now. So yeah, probably got out a little bit too early. My risk was 30 cents. I got out at about 20 cents. And it's just a process. I have to get used to using live money. I have to get used to using bigger sizing than I'm used to. And so it may take a few days to get used to it. But if I stick with it, I think I'll be all right. Maximus said, what's the commission they charge? So really it's roughly about 0.0075 cents per share, but there's a 150 per trade minimum. And so like if you use less than 300 shares, it's like $3 to $4 per round trip. So for an entire round trip, it's like $3 or $4. If you use like 1,000 shares, I think it's like $6 a trade, so $12 for a round trip. And so I think TradeNet is actually really suited really well towards like smaller sizing, specifically new traders learning to trade. I think it works really well. And you can get in with 1, 2, 300 shares with really cheap commissions and just take the time to use small sizing and learn how to trade. I think that's where TradeNet really shines, is in that regard. If you use big sizing and you're already like an experienced trader using bigger sizing, the commissions are definitely going to be more expensive, and overall the terms are going to be less favorable. But if you use small sizing, I think it makes a lot of sense. John, how to buy limit on TEFs? So they have a new, what is it, a 3-cent rule on TEFs. And so limit orders, you're going to get filled a little bit worse. It's going to be harder to get filled, and you're going to get filled a little bit worse on TEFs with limit orders. I've been sticking with market orders, and as you could probably see, I get filled pretty decent with market orders. I wouldn't recommend using market orders on like a conventional broker, but with TEFs, it works well.
All right, guys, got a starter position in AMRN.
On the short side?
Yep.
Let me pull you up. Oh, wait, you got to share?
Oh, I'm not shared?
Nope.
Ooh, forgot. There you go.
Man, MBOT though, what a crazy, crazy move. So it's not a deposit, Andy. So like for TEFs, it's not a deposit. It's you pay for a package. And so the best way I can describe it is like a prop firm. So like you pay for a package. The cheapest one is the intro package. If you go through my link, the intro package is $400 or $399. But regularly, once the sale is over, it's $500. And with the intro package, you get $700 to lose. So you get $700 even though you're only paying $400 or $500. So you get a $700 max loss, and you get $14K to trade with. And so if you go over the $700 max loss, so with $14K, if you go under $13,300, they close the account down, and any profit over the $14K, there's a 70-30 profit split. No, it wasn't tradable today.
All right, this is going to be a big point. The SPY is either going to do a nice big bounce back to 260s or it's going to slap down through the support here.
Yeah, for sure, Andy. No worries, bro. Yeah, if you're interested in using them, here's the link. It's the jump to click link I just posted. I make a commission from it if you sign up, but make sure to do your research. You know, maybe I'm biased because I make a commission from it, but if you want to help support the channel, you can go through my link. But I still try to be honest with people. Like, if you try to trade penny stocks on TradeNet, you're not going to be able to much. There's just not that many penny stocks available to trade. But if you like trading stocks like in between like $6 and $20, there's a really good amount of stocks to trade. And anything you can trade, you can short. And so it's kind of like the perfect broker for me. But, you know, it may not be for you. So just do your research. Yeah, kind of disappointed. I ended up getting out of AMD early. I think it'll probably come back down and break these lows. I may take a small position when it finally does break the lows, but I want to see it cleanly break first.
All right, there you go. We got a breakdown here on AMRN. Let me see the small shares with the big shares coming in. Let's see if we get some big shares to step in there. The SPY breaking down would be nice too. That would just confirm here.
Yeah, there goes AMD, man. There it goes. It would have been a
There you
profitable
go.
trade, I think.
Nice.
Not good for me. Here, let me. Like I said, though, I may jump in with 100 shares here, seeing if I can get in. It's still kind of a range breakout, but I gotta let it actually like break here.
Yeah. Remember, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to continue trading your strategy. So don't like kind of ruin your emotional status. Just stay in your trade. I think you have been doing really well in following your plan and trading your strategy.
Yeah,
I
for
would
sure.
just continue and just take it as I've been doing this strategy, but today was one of those days where I felt the pressure on the emotional side,
Gotta fix
and
it up a
got
little
to
bit.
realize that if I'm going to take this trade, I'm going to stick to it.
Right. For sure.
All right, seeing some downward pressure here. All right,
SBOT is not moving at all. Low volume, slow. Gap down, slow volume. Just not my style. Not something I'm really wanting to trade for SBOT. I don't use the MACD much, Andy. I think every trader's different. I like the VWAP probably more, and so I just kind of stick to what I like and what works for me. You know.
all right, seeing a bounce here. Gonna get ready to get full sized here. Want to take full size somewhere in the 60s.
What's your risk?
Right now it's at 70,
Okay. What's your reward?
30s.
Okay. Yeah, I like 30s.
Rejecting off that support. That looks good. Let's see if we get a big share size and kill it here to the 40s. I'm telling you, it's about that support on the 5 minute on the SPY. Let the SPY get back down to like let's say 258.50s, and this move should continue down. There you go. There's some pressure. I like that right there.
There you go.
Looking
Yeah, I'm
good.
watching it.
I
That's
might
looking.
add here at 40 here, guys.
Yeah, it looks like AMD would have been a profitable trade too. It's down to 34s, right where I entered. As long as it breaks on the downside, it looked like it would have worked. So that's definitely my fault. It's something I have to understand, that it's part of accepting the risk in the trade, you know? That's really what it is. I have to accept the risk that I give myself in the trade, and if I get out early, I'm going to miss out on the times that it does exactly what it did today.
All right. Putting out an order to add here at 45.
Appreciate the subs, Joe and Igor. Welcome, guys. Appreciate it. I am very new to day trading. What, in your opinion, is the best broker for very new people? Also, what videos do you suggest I watch? I mean, I think it all depends. I think each broker has their pros and cons. You know, it just depends. Are you trying to day trade? You know, if you're trying to day trade, the brokers are going to be different. If you're just trying to swing trade or something like that, then, you know, Robinhood, Thinkorswim, Webull works.
There you go. Getting hit hard there. All right, going to cover 100 here as we might get a bounce to VWAP. And I'm still going to be in this trade trying to add share size on a bounce up here.
Did you add to it?
I haven't been able to, so I only took 100 just to pay the commissions of the trade off. Now I'm looking for a bounce to really jump in here with bigger size. I'm thinking adding 400 shares here. If it goes anywhere up to a 45 area, then the risk will become the VWAP. Probably a bounce. I'm going to put an order out 48. Looking for a bounce here and then flush down to the SPY.
John, can you summarize the TradeNet package again? So the intro package, the intro package is if you go through my link or take advantage of the sale, the intro package right now is 400. Usually it's 500 though, and with that package they give you 14K in buying power. So you get 14,000 to trade with, but you have a $700 max loss. And so your max loss is essentially 13,300. And so if you go under that, they close your account down. Any profit over the 14K they give you, there's a 70-30 profit split. And basically on TradeNet, like on TAFS is really the partnering broker. Anything that's tradable is shortable. The problem is there's not a lot of penny stocks available to trade. Most penny stocks are not. And so it just depends on what type of trader you are, on whether it would work for you or not.
It's up here at my entry, guys. I'm going to wait for a tiny step up. And then got to hold and respect my levels. Tiny more step up, and then I can jump in it with the bigger sizing.
But man, look how tight AMD is staying in this range. AMD is staying really tight in this range all day. And so I'll probably end up taking a position if it finally breaks this range, just because it's super obvious at this point. But we'll see what we get. If I do take one, it'll be smaller sizing.
Being careful here because of the SPY. The SPY didn't break down there for me. So I know I can get a bounce to 60. That's why I haven't added the share size here at 51s. I'm in at 51s. I would like a little better pricing, and then you can use that risk that I've already made. Okay, there you go. We're getting some heavyweight there. What's going to happen with the SPY here?
SPY is kind of testing that previous area at 259.25 or so. Yeah, NBEV is going up, man. I see that one. Right, Annick. So like you pay for the package. It's not a deposit. You pay for the package. So like there's not going to be any refunds for like you can't you can't pay for the package and then withdraw. So you pay for the package. It's not a deposit, and like with that, um, you get the funded account, which the intro you get 14K in buying power, so you can trade with 14,000, and there's a $700 max loss. And so if you go under 13,300, which is the $700 max loss, then they close it down. But any profit over the 14K, there's a 70-30 split. No. So it doesn't follow you up, Andy. So like it stays put. It's stationary at 13,300. So like if you bring
Another
your
that's interesting that swing up and then swing right back down is SAEX.
so if
If
you
you could,
bring
if you could risk 10 cents on that one, good risk to reward.
so if you bring your account up to 15K, your max loss is essentially 1,300 instead of 700. Or your max loss is 1,700 instead of 700. Sorry. And so it doesn't follow you up. So like if you bring it up to 15K or 16K, then it's still at 13,300.
There you go. The
SPY
spy
coming
turning.
back down.
Yeah, turning a little way there. All right, got to get through this push here.
Maybe AMD VWAP rejection here. But the SPY's kind of choppy and weird today. Not choppy, but a little unpredictable maybe.
All right, some big size in there, 1,900 at 45s.
I mean, listen, Andy. Like I said, most stocks under 500 are not going to, or under $5 are not going to be tradable, and then some stocks over $5 are not going to be tradable. And so, most of the stocks that are tradable are like over like $6-7. Like those, most of those are tradable, I'd say. But most stocks under 5 are definitely not tradable. Um, so most penny stocks, most low float, previously low volume stocks that start to run aren't tradable. And so it just depends.
I would really be interested in what's going to happen right here. I think we're going to close with a doji on a 5 minute on the SPY. It's going to be very important what happens here.
Yeah, those ETFs are tradable. DGAZ and UGAZ, they're tradable. And since we get a lot of people asking about it, here's the link again if anybody wants to check them out. But like, remember, guys, maybe I'm biased because I post the links. Like I always try to be honest with people. I try to be as honest as I can with it, though. Like especially about like the penny stocks. Like I don't want a penny stock trader to sign up for TradeNet and then find out that they can't trade most of the stocks they want. And so I try to be honest with people about it. I think it's a good deal and it works for me, but it may not for you, especially if you like to trade penny stocks. But so it all just depends on what kind of trader you are. But yeah, AMD just kind of staying in this range all day.
I gotta be careful here, guys. Don't want it to squeeze out on me. It should hold on these 52 levels. I know the SPY is setting up there.
Yeah, I know Sid really picked up on the risk reward thing. And it makes sense. You know, when you first start trading, excuse me, when you first start trading, you might not realize how important like analyzing the risk reward is in the trade. But like once it clicks, and like you understand the need to like establish your risk and like give yourself like a favorable risk reward level. You know, that way, like if you have 2 to 1 risk or reward to risk in each trade you get into, even if you're only right half the time, you'll still be profitable. And so risk reward really is one of those things that not many traders do, not many gurus teach, but it's super important, and it's one of the keys to trading, I think. I wouldn't say there's no low float stocks, but I would say most like penny stocks that have low floats are not tradable. Like most stocks under $5 are not tradable, and you know, like if you want to list some low float stocks, I can check to see if they are, but most I would say most probably are not. Risk reward, appreciate the sub, Al. But risk reward is just like analyzing, like some people call it a stop, but you want to use the chart or use, you know, levels to determine where you're going to set your risk, like where you're going to get out of the trade if it goes against you. And so for instance, if your risk is 10 cents, you want to try to find a favorable reward target that is 20 cents, so for, you know, 2 to 1 reward to risk, and you want to use the chart to determine that. And so it's always better, like you're always going to have better risk reward the closer you get in. Like if you're going short, the closer you get
All right,
into
guys, be careful
resistance.
here, guys.
Yeah, UGAZ is tradable. But yeah, like for instance, if you get in and you have a 10-cent risk, you want to look for a 20-cent reward or so based off of the chart. So even if you're right half the time, if you're getting 20 cents on your winning trades and losing 10 cents on your losing trades, then you're still going to be profitable even if you're only right half the time. And so that's why risk reward makes sense in calculating it that way. I look for high volume, low float. A lot of times high volume stocks are tradable. Low float stocks, it's so so, you know.
All right, guys, be careful here, guys.
What was your risk? You said 70, right?
Well, now it's 60. Above 60s, I wouldn't want to do. Rejecting 60s is what I want to see. And then I could hit the ad or a swing on the downside for the SPY. I don't want to see the SPY over this 29.24 or 25. Above that can push this way too high for us and have to cause us to kind of establish our trade.
SPXL is tradable. So yes, SPXL is tradable, Alec.
All right.
There you go. A
Little
little bit
bounce
better.
here.
Still under the VWAP. SPY taking a little dip. There you go.
There you go. Added full size in there. Now risking off a 60. Getting a little
SPY.
a push here.
Yeah, SPY just really spiked up there.
Spike pushing on me. The spy. Got to hold tight. 58s. Don't want it above that.
I mean, I think that previous high was right around 259, so I think testing that probably is going to happen. It's just about whether it actually breaks 259 or so.
This should have been the area where I was adding the size, guys. Messed up on that ad. All right, 61s.
The SPY pulled back some. Maybe this one will too. I don't want to discourage you from following your plan, though.
Yeah, no. It's right here. $63s. There's a rejection there.
There's a SPY drop back down. Might get a follow through drop here. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw 63s appear for a second, so 63s again in the amount. Saw kind of a fake out happen there. Would like it to just swing right back down here. There's 63s on the ask again. I'm not seeing them get filled though. There's a little push back down.
I think it just depends on what the SPY does here.
Fives is what we don't want to see.
SPY kind of,
we don't want to see again.
SPY kind of pushing. It's still kind of sitting sideways.
Still pushing.
Just dropped back down. I appreciate the sub, Andrew. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream, man. SPY kind of moving sideways. Let's see what happens here. SPY pushing back up. Let's see.
I'm out. And that, my friend, is how you go from a nice $100 green day to a red day.
I made some mistakes too today, so don't stress it.
Yeah, that's just fighting the SPY again, man. The SPY is not wanting to crack for me. I keep shorting it, making opportunities where I see the crackdowns, but no continuation. And the continuation is what we need.
Yeah, I think it's just a weird day for the SPY with these big, massive drops and then picks back up. But second day, red day for me as well. Just gonna keep at it. I mean, like you guys saw, I tested this one for a while, and just gonna let it keep working for me here. Not always gonna be a green day, so one green day, one red day under my belt. Just about break even with this strategy so far, maybe down a little bit, but we'll see what tomorrow gives us. What's today? Wednesday? No, today's Tuesday, right? The only thing I'm really looking at now is if the AMD breaks under this big range it's been forming. You can see super obvious range in between about 2068 and 2035 or so. And so I'm watching AMD to see if it breaks that range. No, it's all good. I mean, listen, I back tested the strategy, and so it's just about sticking with it and letting it work when it does. So I'm not really worried about it. It's losing days are going to happen. It's only day 2 of using the strategy, and so like I said, it's really about break even at this point. Yeah, let's hope, Tiny. But no worries. It just depends on if I can keep using the right strategy. I maybe got out a little early today, like I said. That's the only thing I think I did wrong today. But aside from that, I mean, it is what it is. Losing days are going to happen. Every day's not going to be green. A lot of people making money with MBOT today, but it just wasn't tradable for us. But yeah, look at AMD on a 1 minute. It looks interesting here. It's got this super obvious range right here. It's kind of what I'm looking at. If it does break, I might take it. If it breaks this range in one direction. Yeah, I don't know if this was about education, Danny. I think that I'm just using the strategy, and sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it doesn't work. You know, like I've said before, like if you listen to Mark Douglas, you get a random distribution of wins and losses. So like sometimes you're gonna win, sometimes you're gonna lose. It's not gonna come in any particular order, and so you just got to take each instance of the strategy that presents itself and try to take advantage of the probabilities being in your favor. And so that's kind of what I'm doing here. And today just was one of the days that it didn't work, at least for me. Invite going to 22? I don't know about that. I wouldn't be surprised though, to be honest, with how MBOT's been running. Yeah, Brian, that sucks, man. Yeah, it happens though. It's happened to me before. He said I bought 100 shares of MBOT yesterday when it was at like 540 and sold them at 580. Now I'm quite depressed. Yeah, man, that sucks. Yeah, you would have been up hundreds, maybe thousands. But it's kind of how it goes sometimes. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close it down. I got that recap video to make, and like I said, I'm still watching AMD in this range. If it breaks the range, I'll still consider it. But that's about all I'm looking at for the rest of the day. But yeah, good luck for the rest of the day, guys. Like I said, anybody interested in using TradeNet, there's the link. I know I had a bunch of people asking about it, so if you're interested in using it, you can go through my link and get 20% off the intro package. I think the sale's only going on until the 21st, and so you have about 6 days left to take advantage of the sale. But yeah, good luck for the rest of the day. All shout out to Trade Ideas as well. Trade Ideas is cool enough to let me stream their scans every day. And so if you're interested in checking out Trade Ideas, which is the scanner I use, I'll post the link here as well. You can go check them out. Really makes my mornings much easier. Super dynamic, customizable scanner. So really enjoy using Trade Ideas. Go check them out if you have time. And yeah, good luck for the rest of the day. We'll see you all tomorrow.